This is from the Petty Corner. I'm Petty Diana, and today I have Jay Boyd here with me. He's a power slap catcher who always serves the best face cards. Welcome to the Petty Corner, Jay.
Hey, how you doing? How are you
I'm
doing?
good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing, just amazing.
Okay, so I've been watching Power Slap for a very long time now, basically since it started.
Yes.
And I always saw you catching people, and I never knew who you were. But then, like, one day someone tagged you in something. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to get him
Yeah.
on the podcast. And I clicked on your profile, and it showed that we have the same birthday. So we're birthday
Wait,
twins.
really?
Yes.
Wow.
But I think you're
Wow.
1 year older than me. So I was born in 90.
Scorpio. Yes. That's what I'm talking
Yes.
about.
So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, so I'm going to get into a little bit about your background, and then we'll get into all the good stuff, Power Slab, some fan questions. Some of them are questions that I already wanted to ask, so I'm sure we'll get those answered for
Yeah.
the fans.
Yeah.
But you grew up in North Carolina, and you were a top football prospect. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. Originally, I grew up in Illinois and then like Chicago area. Then I moved to North Carolina when I was 13. That's what yeah.
So you're from Chi-Town.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, and then you went to college at North Carolina.
Yep, yep. Went to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, played football there, ran track.
Okay, before I get into a couple more things, there's a power slap athlete who is actually the picture that I posted when I like tagged you and like pointed.
Um,
Wes Mina, do you know him?
the power slap athlete. Which
Yeah, Wes.
guy? I gotta see a pit. Oh yeah, the black dude, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. We
he,
follow each other. Yeah, 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 yeah. He was saying that he played football too, or something. It was
yes,
something. Yeah.
but he had messaged me one of the in the question box, and he said that you knew his roommate, Sylvester Williams.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
it was
yeah.
his
Me and
old college
Sylvester.
roommate at like a local college before he went to play at North
Yeah, he
Carolina.
went
So
to
he
JUCO.
wanted to know
Mm-hmm.
what was it like playing football with Sylvester.
It was really good. Sylvester came in there a little bit later. I think he came in my junior year. He played 2 years, but Sylvester was a extremely hard worker. Coming from going the JUCO route, you just gotta work a little bit harder. You got a little bit more fire behind you. But Sylvester came in, guns a blazing, working hard, busting his ass, doing the extra, and that led to him being the first round draft pick. The work speaks for itself. But I enjoy playing with Sylvester.
That's awesome. But I think it's really cool that like you were a catcher for his first live event. Well, I guess he was on a pre-recording, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys kind of have like a mutual friend in there. So that's kind
yeah,
of dope.
yeah, yeah.
So you played college football for 4 years, and then in your senior year, you got a leg injury, or was it?
How did you know that? What the hell?
Because I'm petty, I know everything. I do my
So
research.
yeah, so in my senior year, I had a high ankle sprain. It was against Wake Forest. One of our running backs got tackled and fell on my leg. Initially, I didn't think nothing was wrong with it, but yeah, so I was out for a couple weeks. Kind of messed me up. Probably should have redshirted or transferred that year, but yeah, I got a leg injury, and went through a lot that year with the new coaching staff and um, going through all the trials and tribulations with trying to get back in. But everything happened for a reason. So it definitely got my leadership skills and qualities a little bit better.
Okay, so then you said you went through like a lot of trials and tribulations, but you ended up you didn't get drafted, and I read somewhere that it was probably because of your leg injury being in your senior year, but you still made it into the NFL. So how did you overcome that adversity and make it into the NFL?
So with the leg injury, oh my God, you got me going back. So I got the leg injury, and we had new coaches that year. 'Cause I was previously recruited by Butch Davis and everything, that whole staff. And basically, like my senior year with the new coaches come in, they basically wanted their guys that they recruited to play. So any type of error that you made as a player, a player that was there before, they were going to probably try to get you out of there, and that's what happened with me. As soon as I got injured, the true freshman that they recruited, they basically wanted him to play, and it was hard trying to come back. I was out for 7 weeks. Just going through a lot trying to get back. It was a very frustrating injury. You can't rush it. It's just time with the high ankle sprain. So, there was times where I would go to my player development coach, and there's some times where I was like, I think I bawled out crying because I was like, what the hell? What's going to happen with my future? And he actually got me involved with this motivational speaker named Eric Thomas. And he was like, bro, just listen to this. Like, so I started listening to it, and it actually started motivating me. I started listening to Eric Thomas at least, 5 times a day, every day. And I started getting my spirits up. And I was like, look, if these coaches are going to act like this towards me, then what I got to do is we have NFL coaches and scouts that come to our practice at least twice a week. It was like every Tuesday and Wednesday. So I was like, at least I can show them that this setback isn't bothering me. I can still show my leadership qualities and my leadership skills. But at the end of the day, I was still a freak athlete. I was a fast guy, jump high, all that came very naturally. So I was like, at least if it's not the combine, it'll be a different type of combine, and I can at least show off those athletic skills. And um, after my senior year, I got situated with different combines and 4.3, 44-inch vert, like so, and then that ended up getting me the opportunity to be able to go to what 3 or 4 rookie mini camps. So at that point, it was just like choosing which one I was going to go to. So yeah,
That's awesome. I'm glad you were able to overcome all of
yeah.
that. But I did watch a video of you when you had your stint with the Bengals, and
Oh,
it kind of was sad at the end, but
oh, with
like,
Hard Knocks, yeah.
yeah. But now I'm understanding a little more the mindset because they had let you go, but you just had such a positive attitude and like a strong mindset. So that
hmm
attribute to Eric Thomas. Is that what
Yeah,
his name
yeah.
is?
No, it really is. Like, it's weird. He is the one person I've met. A lot of people. He is the one person I have not met yet. I've
Oh,
always
I
wanted
hope you
to
get
meet
to
him.
meet him.
I hope so, man. Like, I mean, living in Vegas, you eventually going to meet somebody, but I hope to meet him one day and just let him know my part of what the part that he played in my life and how he helped me and motivated me. But yeah, hopefully I can meet him one day. We'll see.
Yeah. And then when you left the Bengals, I can't remember if you went to the Chiefs or the Buccaneers first, and maybe
So I started off
the
with the Buccaneers. Yeah, so I was undrafted. I decided to go to Tampa Bay because my ex college coach, Butch Davis, was there. But he was like, it was weird. He wasn't like a really like a full on coach because I think he was still getting paid from the university, so he couldn't take a coaching role. So I'm thinking the smartest thing for me to do is to go to where one of my coaches is. You know what I'm saying? I'll make the team. I'm thinking like, oh, I should make the team easy. That's my coach. Honestly, I made the wrong decision by going to Tampa. I honestly should have went to Washington. I should have went to Washington because they were more predicated on my skill set, and I just wasn't thinking like that. And it was away from Florida. I love Florida, you know. So when I was with Tampa, I was I don't I would say I want to say arrogant because I've always been like a cool, calm, cool, collective dude. But I was going to Miami every weekend. I was partying. I was with celebrities. I was just messing around. Like it was like I wasn't focused on football, and I let that NFL title get to my head while my roommate was studying and staying in, you know what I'm saying? I was like, "Oh, let's turn up." You know what I'm saying? And that
yeah.
ultimately got me cut because of that, you know. I think if I would have just worked a little bit harder when I was at Tampa, probably could have made the team, but there was other things that, you battle. You do have the oh my God, the politics you do, where if you went to a certain school versus this school, that does play a factor. And, I had some people in my corner, one of my, my trainers, he played in the NFL. And then my uncle, he played 10 years in the NFL, won a Super Bowl with, Brett Favre, played at Oklahoma.
Wow.
So my family, especially on my dad's side, a lot of professional athletes on that side. So, but yeah, I was just, just not focusing. You know what I'm saying? And I paid the ultimate price. And it is what it is. But it definitely taught me to be a stronger, and a more of a strong-willed type of person.
I love it. Okay, so you went from Buccaneers, then to Bengals, then to the Chiefs.
Yes, yeah, and I played in the CFL a little bit. I think I was with like the Bills for like a week or something like that. That don't count. Then Tennessee for a little bit. Like it's just, you start bouncing around. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, and then you bounce around because you gotta catch on to the playbook. Every playbook is different. It's a West Coast versus the East Coast versus this, that, spread offense, and then sometimes the terminology is different. Reading that playbook, and people hear it all the time. In a football play, they hear everything, but we're only listening like certain verbiage, for our position group. But yeah, I mean, that was yeah, that's what made it difficult. But yeah, going from different teams, yeah, but I enjoyed it. I made it to the highest level. I accomplished that, and no one can take that from me.
Love it. And before we move on to your next career, because you've had a lot, I just wanted to ask you, what did you major in college when you were in college?
I majored in communications, and my concentration was performance studies and interpersonal communications, and then I minored in African American studies.
Okay, so you went from there to the NFL, and then you went to MMA. So did you just like wake up one morning
Oh
and was like, "Hey,
God.
I'm going to be a fighter"?
It's honestly weird. And some fighters when they like look me up, you know what I'm saying? Because they trying to get under my skin. They like hear this story because I've done it on I think I did it. I think I had like a news interview one time when I was there talking to the lady and everything. It's on my page. I think it's like a little bit lower, but I've always been in contact sports all my life, but I've never fought. I've never fought anybody. In my dreams, I was fighting people, but I never fought anybody in person. So when I got done, I was like, all right, what's the next move? But I was like, I know I got the personality to be on TV. So I talked to a guy who gave me an interview in college. I was one of the top prospects in college, and I went on ESPN for an interview to make my like commit to North Carolina. And his name was Tom Lubingville. And I was like, I text Tom or I emailed him, and I was like, hey, how do I get into like ESPN or broadcasting? Like, how do I do it? And he was like, well, first you got to start on the radio. I was like, all right, bet. So me being me, because I'm a very talkative person, I found a radio station, and I started going on it like once a week, sometimes twice a week. We would talk about the football, the NFL segment in Charlotte, and that's how it started. And I was like, all right, this is what I'm going into. I had friends from Carolina that majored in journalism and everything. They were going to help me out as well. And then one day, I got engaged. That's what happened. I got engaged. It didn't last. It only lasted a month because I was just trying to make her happy, which I don't know why I did that. And then I was by myself, just chilling on the computer, and then something with the UFC popped up. It was something, I don't know what it was. It was something. I was like, huh, I wonder, can I fight? Like literally, that's how it happened. I was like, I'm still young. I still feel good. Like athletically, nothing's changed. Even now at 35, like nothing's changed with me. I still look the same. And I was like, all right, so how do I do this? Like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, all right, I call a UFC gym. Like, that's how you do it. So I told my mom, because me and my mom are like we best friends, and I was like, "Hey, I was like, mommy, I wanna do like this fighting thing. I wanna like see how it is." And she's like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Well, let's give it 2 weeks." I was like, "All right," you know what I'm saying? So 2 weeks go by. I kind of left it alone, because I was still like doing like workouts for like the CFL Canada, and we talked about it 2 weeks later, and I was like, yeah, I still want to do it. So she actually knew a guy who trained fighters, because I'm thinking just go to the UFC gym. So I met up with him, and he was just like, learning like the basics, boxing, footwork, how to throw a jab. And I was like, okay, stance, like it was just a lot. And I kept at it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I say I'm gonna do something, if I say I'm gonna accomplish something, I do it. Like there's nothing in my life that I haven't accomplished, you know?
That's the Scorpio in you.
Yeah. And so yeah, so I started working with him, and then he was like, "All right, well, you're gonna fight. You're." He's like, "How much you weigh?" I was like, "I'm like 195." He's like, "All right, you'll fight 170." I was like, 170. I was like, "Hell nah." I was like, "What?" I was like, "He's like, okay, 185." I was like, I've been 185 since like my freshman year of college, like sophomore year of college." I was like, "What the like? What are you talking about? Cutting weight?" And I started learning the process, and so I think so I told him, I was like, look, so we start training or whatever, and it was like 6 months, 6, 7 months before I got my first fight. And I was like, hey, I'm trying to figure out this fighting thing versus me, the football thing. I need to have a fight before this date for me to see like if I'm going to really like pursue this. And so he got me a fight, cut the 170 for the first time, which is crazy. Um, but throughout the whole training process, he was like, bro, like he was like, you have the opportunity to go to the UFC if you keep working at it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, your athleticism, your wrestling is amazing. He was like, you have all the tools. And I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, let's just keep doing these amateur fights. I think I lost my first two amateur fights, like, cause it's I played in front of hundreds of thousand people. I played in Jerry Jones. I played in Cowboy Stadium. I played in big stadiums. And going from 100,000 people or 60,000 people to like 300 people in the room, it was tough. My first fight, it literally felt like a movie. Everything my coach told me was going to happen happened. Adrenaline dump. I want to forget 50% of the stuff that he taught me. You know what I'm saying? I want to get tired quicker. And literally all that happened. It literally felt like the movies, like the Creed movies. That's exactly how it felt. And I was like, what the hell is this? Like, I couldn't see nothing. All I seen was him, the lights flashing, and I could hear my mom's voice and my coach's voice. That's it. That's all I could hear. And but no, it was a great experience, and I lost my first fight, and I was emotional. I was like, oh my god, I was like, oh, I really like this. Then if I'm getting emotional, and then I kept at it, and then it's just like certain people are only in what they say your life for a reason and for a season. He was only in my life for a season. He was only to his purpose was just like get me started, and then I was like, all right, well, it's time to like make a move. Like I was Florida. I love Miami. I love Miami. I was like, I want to move to Miami. So I start because the coach, he was kind of like, I would say like a little bit of an asshole. And a lot of us that was under him, we like, I don't know, we kind of like did it was weird. And so I would ask him, like, I would say in a sneakingly way, but it was like, all right, so in Florida, when I go down to Florida, because I visit a lot, what's a good team to train with? I would ask like little questions like that, so like I know like what I'm gonna do in the future. So I ended up finding a coach out there, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be moving down there in a couple months, and so we had everything locked in, everything was locked and loaded, and then my grandma passed away, and my mom, my uncle lived in Vegas. So my mom was like, Jeremy, why don't you think about going to Vegas? And I was like, Vegas? I had never been to Vegas, ever, ever. And I was like, Vegas? I was like, and then I was like, okay, well, the USC facility is there. I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Dana White, like it's all right there. I'm like, okay. And I was like, all right, let me take a trip to Vegas first. So I was like, okay, what gym do I train at? So I always like I would look at Kevin Lee. I'm like, all right, he's an athlete. He's similar to me. What gym does he train at? And I seen that it was a couture. I was like, all right, cause strength couture. I'm gonna go out there train there. And then this chick that I was kind of like talking to, she fought. She was like, Jay, check out Syndicate. I was like, okay, Syndicate, whatever. All right, cool. We're gonna check out Syndicate as well. So it was a business trip. I was out here for like I was out here like 4 days. I was coming out here to train at both gyms, see which one I was going to join when I moved out here. Went to Extreme Tour, liked it, and then I went to Syndicate and I loved it. So I was like, all right, I like this gym. And talked to Coach Wood, let him know, I was gonna be moving down here in a couple months, and made the plan, and moved out here like July 12th of 2018. Made the plan, drove across the country, came here. I was like, yeah. So you know, there was some setbacks with MMA. Then I messed up my Achilles. So, but now everything is getting back straight, and yeah, and then all of a sudden I'm doing this power slap thing, which I thought like everybody else, this is stupid. Like, what the hell is this? I was at Circle one day, like, why do they do this? And I was like, I would never. And so then, fast forward I don't know, maybe like 6 months later. Because my gym now is Fight Capital. I train at Fight Capital with Skip and Coach King. I just syndicate. I just had to change. It was I just had, I like smaller gyms. More more attention,
Hmm.
and I love Fight Capital. And so one of the guys actually was supposed to be a catcher before me, and he was like, "Jay, I can't do this. Do you mind taking my spot?" And I was like, for that stupid slap thing, I was like, sure. He was like, yeah, they're gonna pay you, whatever. I was like, all right, bet. Like I ain't got nothing to do anyway. He was like, it's for like 3 days. I was like, all right, cool, I'll do it. And it was me and another guy from my gym. And so we meet at the UFC facility. They talking about, oh, it's gonna be like for like a TV show. I'm like, all right, like whatever. And I'm there and they're like, "Hey, this is how you're gonna do it." And I'm like, "Okay." So I'm like going on Instagram. I'm like, "All right, let me go on their Instagram. Let me see how they like catching people." And they were telling us a little bit. And I'm like, "Okay, all right." I'm like, "Man, I'm about to be nervous." Like I got on the stage nervous. Like, "Oh shoot, I hope I do it right." So you know, the first slap, I was like, "What the hell?" And I was just like, oh my God, like there's no way. Like I gotta look pretty. Like I'm not doing this. So it's weird because I was like everybody else. Everybody that trolls, power slap and oh it's stupid, but then you're on their comments and you're looking at the videos and you're getting the views. And I was just like them. But then, like when you're there, you become a fan. Then I start seeing the difference between the rookies and the pros. And I was
Yes.
like, oh, I was like, okay, I respect it way more now. Now I see the big difference, and I was like, okay. And then like how they do it for as market is amazing. They do an amazing job. Like they smart. So, but yeah, so yeah, that's how I started with Power Slap, and I didn't think it was gonna be like this, and it just it blew up. It was never for clout or anything, trying to get on TV. Like I've been there, done that. Like I ain't worried about all that. But yeah, it was just a regular job, and a little extra income, and it turned into this. So
That's crazy. Because I was going to ask you, like, how you got into it and everything. Because a lot of the team is UFC employees. So you never worked for the UFC
no,
before that? Okay. And then to back up a little bit, do you still fight? Because your last fight was in 2022 and you had one in 2023, but
yeah,
it was canceled.
yeah. So I am planning on probably after this trip from Saudi Arabia, get back into training and probably look for a fight probably like April. April.
Oh, I love
Yeah, yeah.
it.
I kind
I'm
of I
excited.
kind of find out when the next Power Slap event is in the states. So
Actually, it's the tickets are out, so we could say it. It's March 7th. The
Damn,
tickets
you
are
don't.
on the Power
Oh
Slap website.
God, damn. Yeah, I didn't know the date exactly, but thank you for telling me.
It's in Vegas.
Damn, I didn't think. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was talking to the.
Yeah, no, I think they put the tickets out yesterday. So
Okay, yeah, I was at Omnia like a week ago, and I'm hanging out with somebody, and then so it was these girls I had met. They were like from London, and so we were just hanging out, whatever. I was like, oh, come to Omnia, like I'll show you around. And so we were going to the dance floor, and these guys like, oh, they want the girls over, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, go ahead. I was like, we're just friends. I was like, go ahead. And then the girl's like, no, we want Jay over too. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Jay or whatever. And we start talking a little bit. We start talking about talking about fighting, and we start talking about Power Slap. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm like one of the catchers for it. He was like, really? He was like, oh, we're the main sponsor, the alcohol. I was like,
oh,
oh
Azul.
shit. I was like,
Yeah, that's
oh.
dope.
I was like, what a wow of all the people to
Yeah.
meet. And I was like, yo, so we add each other on Instagram. They were hella cool. I was like, oh my God. I was like,
What a
wow.
small world.
Man, that was crazy. And we just like, just hanging out, having fun. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So outside of Power Slap catching, what do you do?
So outside of that, man, I be doing a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I just bought 3 cars, and I'm just, I'm a Toro,
Oh, like Turo or something?
I'm a Toro 2 of those out, and then and I work at Found Blue. You know what I'm saying?
You
Um,
do?
I
I
do,
love
I
staying
know,
there.
yeah, Found Blue,
Yeah.
but
No, it's so nice.
but yeah, I try to stay busy with a lot of, with Found Blue and with the Power Slap, and then me doing like this whole Turo thing. And then I do doing a little modeling on the side, because I don't know. There's a possibility of me going on a TV show. I was supposed to go on one last year, but I denied it. I just wasn't ready. It's called Big Brother.
I love that show.
So
I'm
Big
sorry, that's
Brother,
me being a nerd.
yeah, it was. I didn't know nothing about it, and the guy,
Oh,
it
you
was
should do
weird.
it. I'll be rooting for you.
One of the girls actually, I guess, who like, how the casting, she actually seen me on Bumble. And
Oh,
people think like these
wow.
dating apps are like, oh, they're trying to. I'm like, no, these dating apps is just for a hookup. You can do that in person. You can do whatever. It's,
Yeah.
it's connections. Like if somebody sees you, they go on this stuff to look for certain people as well. So, but it's just like certain things. It just didn't align at the time, and I didn't know anything about Big Brother.
When you first saw Power Slap, you thought that it was stupid, just like everyone else, because I thought that too. I was like, oh, this is dumb. But like, kind of like, I was like, well, Dana's doing it, so I have to watch it,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. Right,
But like,
yeah.
now you respect it. But before you said you wouldn't do it. Now would you do it?
No, look. We gotta talk. We me and Dana gotta talk about some money because goddamn, you know, I thought about it. I'm like, okay, would I do this? You know what I'm saying? Because like obviously I'm right there. Like some of the athletes have hit me up and they're like, well, bro, like one of the guys, he was like, you'll be good because like you know what to do. Like you're right there. I was like, yeah, like I study y'all. Like it ain't like I'm just there just to like I look at everything. I know who has the best technique. I know how to
Yes.
stand. I know everything when it comes to it. So it's not like I'm a rookie, you know? Um Obviously it's just landing right there on the jaw. That's the only thing that you're really practicing. But far as like the motion and everything and on one, two, three, I know what's the better thing to hit people with. But yeah, it was done to me at first, but then obviously doing it, I'm like, okay, so basically like when the money that they pay me, I use that money to buy people tickets. That's what I've been doing.
Do
Because
you really?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
because they bring these influencers and everything, and like I'm an influencer as well. You are as well. So my thing is, so many people send me videos all the time about me. Is this you, bro? Is this you? Is this you? At work. Oh, Jay, I seen you. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so the people who have looked after me in this city, the least I can do is get them tickets. So I try to buy at least 5 to 6 tickets per event for these people. I'm like, hey, I got a ticket for you if you want to come. Hey, I got a ticket for you if you want to come. And that's just showing my appreciation how they look after me in this city. I gotta look after them. So that's what I do. I don't really mind. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the last people I invited, they loved it. Oh my god, the last show at Fountain Blue, they were like, "Bro, like I'm a fan now," and I'm like, just like that, people become fans. You know what I'm saying? So I want to continue to do that. And, just keep bringing people to the sport. It's like I said, it's a different beast when you there. People don't realize that, and I tell people that all the
Yes,
time.
I try to tell people that all the time. And I interview like UFC fighters
Yeah,
sometimes, and I'm like, "Yo, you need to make it out to Power Slap. You need to make it
you
out to Power
do.
Slap." People
Yeah,
think I'm crazy. I'm like, "No, like you don't understand. It's so different in person." And then, actually, this last card that was in Vegas, there was these guys that were sitting behind me at the UFC. The last time they
hmm
came to Salt Lake City, I live in Utah, and I was like telling, like we were just talking the whole time, and then like the Power Slap thing came up on the screen. I started talking about Power Slap. I was like, oh yeah, like I have a podcast, blah blah blah. And then they're like, oh well, we drove up here from Vegas, and I was like, you need to make it out to Power Slap. You need to make it out to Power Slap. They like followed my podcast, but they don't really do social media. They just followed me on YouTube.
yeah.
I saw them on the screen. I was like after someone got knocked out, like at the reactions, it was
Yeah.
the four guys, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. It is. Oh my god. And then people love talking about my facial expressions. I'm just like,
Yes, no. Okay, Chelsea Dodson. She was on the Abu Dhabi card against Paige
oh
Van
yeah, yeah,
Zant.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was talking. Yeah, yeah. I was talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
She responded to the question block and she said, not a question, but we need a video of just his reactions. So we need like a camera on you 24/7.
There, when I didn't even because I wear my emotions on my face. Like that's just how I am. My mom is like, that's just how you. And so the facial expressions, it it's just me. Like I don't even like try to do it on purpose, nothing like that. It's just like I'll be like, damn.
That's why
And
they're the best.
yeah, no, there it's just it's like and I try not to distract the athletes too, because like I'm like right there. So I try not to like distract them. And then one time I swear to God, one of them like they were doing like the 3 count and they looked at me and I was like I was like, don't look at me, bro. And then I asked one of them, I was like, do you be like, do I distract you? Like with my facial expression? It's like, no, no, I don't even pay attention to you. I was like, oh God, thank God, you know? And then people think I'm a ref. I was like, I'm not a goddamn ref. You know, like the ref is right there. But
But wait, what is it like having the best view
I
in
know,
the
right?
whole arena? Like it cannot get any better than that. Like
I
you're literally
man,
right there.
and then it's been stuff I see on social media. Like I'll go on the Power Snap page, and people like, oh, they don't even catch people. They're just there they just have a good seat. I'm like, you like even people that I'm close with, they was like, Jay, you didn't even catch him. I'm like, my job is not to catch their whole body. It's just to protect their head. Like I'm not gonna help them like that. I'm just gonna protect their head, make sure their head don't bounce off the thing, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. But a lot of people don't understand like what we're actually like doing. But yeah, I forgot the question.
It was just about having the best seat in the
Oh
house.
yeah, yeah. So it's no, I love it. Like I'm literally like I'm right there. So like I see everything. The dust gets in my face, and the other catchers they don't like wearing the glasses. So I wear the
Oh,
glasses.
I've seen sweat get all over you. I've
Oh
seen
my
you get
god,
drenched in sweat
I'm just
before.
oh my god, I'm just the glasses guy. I be like, yo, wipe your goddamn head off. The crazy Hawaiian. God, hey brother, please. Get, that boy need a whole towel. He be sweating.
He walks out with one. He just sweats a lot.
He does. And like some of the guys be like, yo,
He's the
Jay.
best though. Like he's like so
Oh,
kind to
he is. Oh
everybody
my
and like
God.
I love him.
Yes, yes, yes. Like some guys complain, oh man, it's hot up there. I'm like, I feel good. It's good out here. You know what I'm saying? You roll my
Yeah.
sleeves up and
Well,
I
they
feel
probably
it.
feel more pressure because it's like everyone is watching them,
That's true too.
how
It
their
is. No,
performances
it
and
is.
stuff.
It is.
Um, but have you ever thought, like, do you ever think, like, nah, I'm gonna let him fall?
No, no. I mean, like I said, I literally, I just have my hand just against their back, but I let them fall. Like I'm not about to catch their
Yeah.
whole body. Like I'm there just to catch their head, make sure their head doesn't bounce off, make sure they don't fall off the stage from getting woozy. But when I see that, when I see them get knocked out, and I see like it sound like a shotgun, I'm like. At first, I was like, oh, I want to do it. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm not trying to go viral. But I don't know. I mean, I think about it. You know what I'm saying? Especially like with my background and what I've done. A lot of people would come to see me if I were to do a power step event. Like, I would have a lot of people there because they want to see.
So would you still fight at 170?
Yeah, I fight once. No, no,
The
hell no,
well,
no, 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 no. I would fight at 85. I would if I did power step.
85.
It would be
Okay, so the
85.
170 needs a little spicing up. El Pedro's moving down.
But I would.
Azael
But
is
if
moving
I
down. But
but
the 170 needs a little spicing up. But I
a
mean, El Pedro's going to bring
170,
that.
it's just because 170 is only for MMA, but power slap, everything is to the head. I need all
Stay
my
hydrated.
yeah. I there's no way because
Yeah,
when I cut the 170, like I am like
depleted.
slick.
And that's when
Yes.
you get fully knocked out
Yeah,
from like
yeah.
the
So
you
I
said
would,
the
I would, I
depletion.
would, I would, I would fight at middleweight. So for all my middleweight people, if I do it, yeah, I'm coming to middleweight. But you know,
He's coming for you, Isaiah.
I'm coming for Isaiah. I'm coming for him. You know what I'm saying? But I would fight at 185. I would. Look. I'm a flashy dude. I play receiver. We're divas. So I would definitely come on the stage. Look, a little swag.
I love it. Okay. And I'm glad you pointed out that your job is to only catch their head
hmm
or like to protect their head because to me and probably many others is like we thought like okay, like as a catcher you catch them.
Yeah.
So but it's to protect the head. So for everyone out there, he's only
Yes.
supposed to protect the head.
That's
So if
it.
people fall on their ass, it's
Yes.
their fault.
Yeah, we supposed to let him fall. Yes.
Somebody else wants to know who's your barber.
My barber.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I have two barbers, right? It's the craziest thing because oh my god, because they'd be like, oh, one of my barbers like, oh yeah, I see my cut on there, bro. I see my cut. So this is weird. I have a Hispanic barber, a Mexican barber, and then I have a white female barber from Wisconsin. Like it
From
is.
Wisconsin.
So I have
That's so
two
random.
very, very different
Yeah.
barbers, but always like even get my hair cut. I was like, man, I just I walked in well because my main barber he couldn't cut my hair, so I was like, I gotta find like it's always good to have like two. They go out of town, and I walked in one day and I was like, I looked at her and I was like, all right, she must know how to cut hair. I'm gonna give her opportunity. Like I'm big on that. Like I'll give them an opportunity because people, it's like girls getting hair done. Sometimes it's a process. It takes a couple appointments, before and then they know you.
Yeah.
So these barbers, they know me. They know what I want. They know they like easy. But look, I have two of them. I have two. They will have to DM me, and I can send them the info. But I make
Okay. So
sure.
DM him if you want to know who his
Yes,
barber
I
is.
make sure brothers on point when they get on stage.
Okay, and then also else wanted to know: do you have to have any EMT or medical background to be a catcher? Like,
No.
did you have any prior to becoming one?
No, 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 no. You don't have that because I'm not doing anything medically to them or for them. So no, but a lot of
Just
people have to
protecting
ask
the
me.
hip.
They're like, oh, how do I become a catcher? I was like, one of us have to either die or something else. Like that job is not for open. Like
Yeah.
yeah, but I've had good best friends like, yo, I'm like, nah. Because a lot of people they see it, they see like I said, the clout, they see you on social media, and a lot of people they want that. One guy hit me up from North Carolina I went to high school with, I guess, and it's like 15 years ago. He's like, "Hey, how do I apply to be a catcher like you? Like, I'll fly myself out to Vegas for the interview and blah blah." I'm like, "Huh?" So I'm like, "Okay, you're only saying this because you're seeing me like on social media and all this, and you want that attention. I didn't do this for attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was not a fan of it, and I just did it because one of my boys couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It grew to this, so it was never for any clout or attention when I did this. Like it was genuinely like, all right, I'm just going here. I'll do this little catching thing, and that was it. And I started to love it, and that's just how I didn't think it was going. Like it blew up way bigger than I thought it was going to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah,
Well, you be serving those face cards. It's hard not to notice.
I know I tried to, oh my god, oh my
No,
god.
just keep being you. Don't try nothing else. Okay, and then does it? Someone wanted to know: does it feel like you're being slapped while you're watching them get slapped?
Sometimes, yes, I feel very bad at times. I'm like, God damn, oh my God. Woo. And then you see me like when they get good stuff, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I ate that. In my head, I'm like, yeah, I could have ate that. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm gonna watch you on the next time that you're
man,
catching for a
look,
185.
I gotta talk to Erica. I'm like, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about maybe doing like, just one, like saying, like let's, put me on the main card, you know what I'm saying? Well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna spice it up, I'm gonna get a lot of people in there. Cause look, at the end of the day, like I said, people they like, oh, former NFL player, blah, 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 this and that. So they wanna see me. They like, well, let's see what he got. And then the
yeah.
slappers trust and believe. Like, if I bet you even Isaiah, he would probably be like, yo, yeah, I get my opportunity because of the story in the background and because it brings even more notoriety to the sport and to him. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would do it if he give me a shot. I'll go against him. What's up?
Hey, we'll just have to ask him. All right.
Let's go. Let's
Hey,
go for the
Erica,
belt,
you gotta
baby.
set that up.
You said
Wait,
what?
hold on. Only after Brandon and Isaiah get their rematch because there's been too much online banter with that.
That's true.
Jay gets the
That's
winner.
true. I talk a lot of shit, so I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna keep it good. But no, no, that's their thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like I said, I do think about competing, but I'm just like
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see in the future.
But kind of going back to learning if you could do it or not. During Power Slap 10, I was in the media room, and Frank had talked about them putting a slap training center inside the PI. So maybe once that's
Oh,
in there, you
yeah,
could go in there
I
and show them what
do.
you got.
We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We will see. I would definitely compete, but everything just got to be right. And then if I do, I mean, why not do it in Fountain Blue? Like I said, like I would have
March 7th.
I would have all of nightlife. I would have that thing rocking. I
Yes,
promise
you
you
have the
that.
local
Oh
crowd
my
in the
God.
community.
Oh my God. Oh my
And I'll
God.
be there because I always go to the Vegas cards
Oh
because
yeah,
I live in Utah. So it's just like,
and,
it's
you know,
just a hop, skip, and a
and, you
jump.
know, people they want to see my ass get knocked out, so they yeah, come, let's go.
That's not nice.
Oh,
You're
you know,
cool
you
as
got
hell. Who wants to
they
see
want
you
to
get
see.
knocked
Ah,
out?
Jay, you got I'm like, yeah, yeah, come on. But I love it. So yeah.
Well, Jay, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time and sharing with me and the fans a little bit about you, your background, your power slap career, and all that. We look forward to seeing you in Saudi Arabia. I'm doing a watch party, so we're gonna be watching for
Yes,
your base
I
cards.
can. Oh God, yeah, I can't wait to go there. You know, man, it's gonna be a good card. And then we got Fountain Blue in March. Oh my God, you told me the date.
Yes,
I didn't even know it was March 7th. So, I'm
yes.
excited about that. But if I compete, it'll probably be later on in the summer. It'll be later on in the summer.
Yeah. Well, they normally do a card over International Fight Week, so I'm not
When is
saying that it's
International
going to
Fight
be in
Week? Is
June,
that
but it
July?
possibly.
Is that June or July?
Well, I will say that I do know because I had asked Frank and I interviewed him, and this is public information.
Hmm.
They signed a 5 event deal with the Fontainebleau
Yep.
through 2025. So the last one in there in December, that was the first one there. So there will be 4 at the Fontainebleau
Mm.
here in Vegas
Yeah.
throughout this year. So
Yeah. You know, we'll see. You know, I'll talk to Erica, I'll talk to Frank, and yeah, you know, but obviously, you know, practicing and all that. I mean, like I said, it's I think, yeah, I'm yeah. You know what I'm saying?
well, hopefully we see you there one day.
Yes.
Well, thank you again. I really appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you in Saudi.
All right, I see you. Thank you.